Lucas Kyle picks up this tablet,
Yep.
and it is fancy, but it's technology that I don't think anyone there knows how it works.
How do I
Ask it.
ask it?
Lucas would like information on secret codes and ciphers. Lucky you. Several of those are actual books.
So this looks like a tablet and has a nice user interface, and it has some voice recognition. Like it understood what Bernard's description was. Also, it understood that this is Lucas Kyle because it didn't know who Lucas Kyle was before, but but Bernard's like, Lucas Kyle wants this information, and it understands to do that. And so my question, or my first statement is, I know Lucas Kyle definitely doesn't know how it works, but I don't think Bernard also. I think Bernard also does not know how it works. Like he knows that it does work, but not how like nuts and bolts, like down to electrons, down to the integrated circuits. Like how does this thing actually produce the results that I'm asking for it? And so my question was, is this a like sci-fi trope? Like forgotten technology that's super in advance. We don't know how it works. We just know that it does, and so we use it. Is this a sci-fi trope, or is it actually something real? Like, is there actually technology here now in 2025 that we don't know how it works, but we just know that it does?
So I think there's a lot of tech. So we're using a computer right now, and I don't know how it works. If I'm like, there's a lot of parts in the computer.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And I don't know how. Basically, none of it. I had no idea how it works. I could have some cartoony understanding of a few parts, but mostly I don't know how it works.
But I'm okay with that.
I could find somebody in the world who does know how each part works.
Exactly.
I think.
So similarly to cars, like there's so many mechanical parts as well as electronic parts, and there's so much engineering that has gone into each part to be specifically what it is. And for most people, and I mean like the vast majority of people, they're just like keys in, push start, and hit the gas. Like I go. Like I don't know, I go. Right? And so most of the population of the world probably does not know how, like down to every detail, how the car works. But I think, but that's okay. And so that I would not consider that like forgotten technology, because as you said, we could find enough experts to put it together and be like, we do know how, we as humanity as a whole do know how every piece of this car works. So that's category one. Like we use it a lot and it's around, but you don't need to know how it works to use it. But somebody knows. I think there's a category two, which is really my question about, is there technology now that like truly nobody in the world knows how it works? But it does work, so we're like, okay, we just use it.
So I think the answer is, in our world today, I think the answer is no, because we are on like this uptick of technology, and so the people who have made the technology the people who made the technology are still around, and they're teaching the next generation, and so the knowledge is being passed down. I think you need a societal collapse in order for this tech to exist.
So I see what you're saying. And so since the scientific revolution in like the 1400s, 1300s, something like that, since we've had a more or less continuous society, then we haven't had this like knowledge collapse. Like we haven't had our burning of the Library of Alexandria, where there's all this accumulated knowledge and maybe like the engineered goods that came out of it, but then we lost our knowledge, but we still had the items.
So I guess an example may be like the Roman aqueducts in the Western Roman Empire after the fall. That they're like, I don't know how to build it. I don't know exactly the principles of its operation, but it works and I'm using it.
But if you have people here turning cranks and like the water's coming, like the water works, like but they'd have no chance of it rebuilding.
So if the aqueduct collapsed in like an earthquake or something, the locals would be like, well, I have no idea how to rebuild this thing. I do not know the principles of its operation. That's it. We're using some other method now. And that would be the analogous to this iPad, this tablet breaking, but broken in half. Somebody dropped it. And it's like, well, I can't manufacture it anymore. I don't understand how it worked. Now it's toast. Like we're not making another one. I mean, okay. Because there's so few people, even if they did know how it worked, They couldn't manufacture another one. They don't have the modern supply chains.
Oh, sure.
do it.
Yeah.
But they also don't know how it works, I think.
Exactly. Conceptually, if this thing broke, it's done. Like there's no replacements.
No replacement.
And we don't have anything like that in modern society because we haven't had this population rise and collapse.
Right, I think. So after the fall of modern society and we have a post-apocalyptic world, then we may see tech like this.
I wonder if somebody has an example. If you have an example, tell us in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.